November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas. The sun shone brightly. A spirit of excitement filled the air. President John F. Kennedy, young and charismatic, rode through the crowded streets. His smile radiated hope. His words promised progress. But destiny had a cruel twist in store. As the presidential motorcade turned onto Elm Street, gunshots shattered the afternoon calm. Chaos erupted. People screamed and ran for cover. The world watched in horror as the vibrant leader slumped, mortally wounded. The assassination of John F. Kennedy sent shockwaves across the globe. It marked the abrupt end of a presidency filled with promise. It also plunged a nation into mourning. How could such a tragedy occur? Who was responsible for cutting short a life so full of potential? The official investigation, led by the Warren Commission, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. But this explanation failed to satisfy many. Whispers of conspiracy began to circulate, and they have never truly ceased. The assassination of President Kennedy remains one of the most controversial events in American history. The official narrative, pointing to Lee Harvey Oswald as the lone gunman, has been challenged by a myriad of conspiracy theories. These alternative explanations range from plausible to outlandish. But they all share a common thread, a deep-seated suspicion that the truth has been hidden. Fueling these suspicions are inconsistencies in the official story. Eyewitness accounts often contradict each other. Some describe multiple shooters, while others claim to have seen smoke coming from a grassy knoll overlooking the motorcade route. The infamous Zapruder film, capturing the assassination in gruesome detail, raises more questions than it answers. Furthermore, the speed and precision required for Oswald to have acted alone, firing 3 shots in rapid succession, have been called into question by ballistics experts. The fact that Oswald himself was murdered just 2 days later before he could stand trial only deepened the mystery. At the heart of many conspiracy theories lies a shadowy organization, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. In the years since the assassination, a growing body of evidence has emerged suggesting that the CIA may have played a more sinister role in Kennedy's death than initially acknowledged. Declassified documents, released decades after the event, reveal the agency's involvement in various covert operations during the Cold War. Some of these operations targeted foreign leaders deemed hostile to American interests. These revelations have led some researchers to believe that Kennedy, who had become increasingly wary of the CIA's power and influence, may have become a target himself. The president's clashes with the agency over the failed Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba, his attempts to curtail the Vietnam War, and his rumored back-channel negotiations with Fidel Castro all point to a growing rift between Kennedy and the intelligence community. This context is crucial to understanding the potential motives behind a CIA-orchestrated plot. Did elements within the agency view Kennedy as a threat to national security? Did they fear that his policies would undermine their covert operations and weaken America's stance in the Cold War? These questions remain unanswered, but the possibility of a rogue faction within the CIA taking matters into their own hands cannot be ignored. Section 4, Oswald's Secret Dance. Lee Harvey Oswald, the man accused of assassinating President Kennedy, remains an enigma. His background is a tangled web of contradictions. His motives are shrouded in mystery. Was he a lone wolf driven by communist sympathies, as the Warren Commission concluded? Or was he a pawn in a much larger game manipulated by forces beyond his control? Recent revelations have shed light on a particularly intriguing aspect of Oswald's life, his alleged ties to the CIA. Witnesses have come forward claiming to have seen Oswald in the company of known CIA operatives in the months leading up to the assassination. These sightings took place in New Orleans, Dallas, and even Mexico City, where Oswald traveled just weeks before Kennedy's death. The nature of these alleged meetings remains unclear, but their very existence raises troubling questions about Oswald's true allegiance. Was he a CIA informant, tasked with infiltrating pro-Castro groups, or was he being groomed for a more sinister role, perhaps as a patsy in a carefully orchestrated plot? The fact that these meetings were never fully investigated by the Warren Commission only deepens the mystery. Did the agency intentionally conceal Oswald's ties to protect its own operatives? Or was it simply an oversight, a tragic blunder that allowed a dangerous individual to slip through the cracks? Whatever the explanation, the possibility of a CIA connection to Oswald cannot be dismissed. It represents a crucial piece of the puzzle, a thread that could unravel the entire assassination plot. The enigma of the grassy knoll. One of the most enduring mysteries of the JFK assassination is the presence of a second gunman. Eyewitnesses reported hearing shots coming from the direction of the grassy knoll, a small hill overlooking Dealey Plaza. Some even claimed to have seen a puff of smoke or a figure with a rifle. Despite these accounts, the Warren Commission concluded that all the shots were fired from the Texas School Book Depository, where Oswald was positioned. However, doubts have persisted for decades. Could there have been another shooter hidden in the shadows who played a crucial role in the assassination? The grassy knoll theory gained further traction with the release of the Zapruder film, which appeared to show Kennedy's head moving backward, suggesting a shot from the front. Ballistic experts and forensic analysts have debated this point endlessly with no definitive conclusion. Adding to the intrigue, several individuals who were present at Dealey Plaza that day later reported being intimidated or threatened into silence. Some even met with untimely deaths, fueling suspicions of a cover-up. The true significance of the grassy knoll remains one of the most hotly debated aspects of the JFK assassination. Whether it holds the key to understanding the full scope of the conspiracy, or is merely a red herring, is a question that continues to haunt historians and investigators alike. The impossible trajectory. The single bullet theory, also known as the magic bullet theory, is perhaps the most controversial aspect of the Warren Commission's findings. According to this theory, a single bullet fired by Oswald struck both President Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally, causing multiple wounds. Critics argue that the trajectory of the bullet, as described by the Commission, defies the laws of physics. They point out that the bullet would have had to change direction multiple times in mid-air to account for the wounds sustained by both men. To bolster their case, skeptics often cite the findings of independent researchers and forensic experts who have conducted their own analyses of the bullet's path. Many of these studies have concluded that the single bullet theory is implausible, if not outright impossible. Moreover, the pristine condition of the bullet, which was recovered from a stretcher at Parkland Hospital, has raised further doubts. How could a bullet that caused such extensive damage emerge almost unscathed? The debate over the single bullet theory is emblematic of the larger controversy surrounding the JFK assassination. It highlights the deep divisions between those who accept the official narrative and those who believe in a more complex conspiracy. As with so many aspects of this case, the truth remains elusive, but the questions raised by the single bullet theory continue to challenge our understanding of what really happened on that fateful day in Dallas. Unanswered questions. Despite numerous investigations, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy remains shrouded in mystery. Key questions about the events and individuals involved have never been fully answered. Who were the true masterminds behind the assassination? Was it the work of a lone gunman or a broader conspiracy? What role did government agencies play? The release of classified documents has provided new insights, but also raised additional questions. Some documents remain heavily redacted, while others have been withheld entirely, fueling speculation about what secrets they might contain. The enduring fascination with the JFK assassination speaks to its profound impact on American history and collective memory. It represents a moment when the course of a nation was irrevocably altered, and the trust in its institutions was deeply shaken. As we continue to seek answers, it is important to remember that the quest for truth is not just about solving a historical puzzle. It is about honoring the memory of a fallen leader and ensuring that justice is served, no matter how many years have passed. In the end, the unanswered questions surrounding the JFK assassination serve as a reminder of the complexities and uncertainties that define our understanding of history. They challenge us to keep searching, to keep questioning, and to never settle for easy answers.